Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Paige Delozier with Talking Points, and this is Ask Me Anything. Whether you're on Facebook, Twitter, X, or YouTube, we are happy that you joined us to talk about everything family engagement and everything Talking Points. This is week 3 of 5 things you didn't know about Talking Points. The first week we shared that we are a nonprofit. I think a lot of people did not know that, and that's always a wonderful thing to share. If you want to go back and learn more about that, you always can. The second week we shared that Talking Points has no barrier to entry for families, and that's one of educators and families' favorite things about Talking Points. Again, you can always go back and watch our previous live streams on Facebook or YouTube. And this week, we are sharing our third fun fact that you may or may not have known about Talking Points. And we are sharing, let's see, the differences between the free and the paid versions of Talking Points. If you are using Talking Points for Teachers that you downloaded on your own, on your phone or your web browser that you use every day at school, you may not even know that we offer partnerships at the school and district-wide levels. And vice versa, if your school or district assigned it to you, you may not realize that there are teachers out there whose school doesn't offer it to them, and they're using it for absolutely free because of our nonprofit status. So I'm going to share some great information about that, about the differences between those two or three versions of the accounts. And you might learn a thing or two today. So whether you're an administrator, a classroom teacher, or anything in between, you'll have something to glean from today's session. So let's look at what we can learn. 5 things you didn't know. So I'm going to skip through the stuff that we already went over in the first 2. Oh, I went too fast. All right, so let me take a sip real quick. All right. Talking Points, our goal obviously is to have a solution for every need because we do want to reach every family, right? We want you to be connected to every family, every student, every day. So Talking Points for Teachers is free, allowing individual educators access to the best universal family engagement platform. But we also do partner with schools and districts nationwide to provide streamlined communication between home and school. And I'm going to give you some information on the differences between the 2 types of accounts. And this is also information you can find on our website. So if this brings up some questions about should my school or district be looking at this, I don't know if it's time to be planning for next year, then head to our website at Talking PTS. I'm going to put this in the comments at talkingpts.org/schools, and you can find more information, or your administrator can find more information about that. So a lot of you are using the Talking Points for Teachers free version, and we love that. Keep doing that. You know that you can have 200 students on there, which for most teachers is more than enough. It's split up into up to 5 classes. In those school and district-wide accounts, it's unlimited number of students, licenses. Then for messaging capabilities, you can send those messages, direct messages, and announcements in both types of accounts. In the paid account, if you are an administrator, you're going to be able to send them school-wide and district-wide because you need to reach everyone. If there's an event, if there is some sort of announcement that needs to be given to everyone in the school, we want you to be able to reach everyone. So then also with messages on the free teacher account, 50 DMs and 5 announcements per day. It resets every day. And schools and districts, unlimited. Then with translation, I know that's one of the things that we are most known for. Our enhanced translation is provided in 145 languages for both the free account and the school and district accounts. But the addition of support for non-machine translated languages brings us up to 150 languages for schools and districts. And what that means is there are languages out there that exist that don't exist in machine translation anywhere yet. And so those are the ones that are on our list that are not machine translated yet, are supported for those paid accounts. And you can see what those are on our supported language list, which I will also put in the comments. I know that we have talked about that list a couple of times. And if you're using the product already, you probably have seen this list before. And those non-machine translated languages have an asterisk by them on the list, so you'll be able to quickly identify them. The Talking Points platform is available on mobile and online for both types. You will be given very helpful support and resources in both. Your analytics and dashboards are available. I've shown on one of my sessions on AMA, we talked about the analytics for teachers. When you have the paid school and district-wide account, there are admin-specific dashboards that go school-wide, that go district-wide, and now that we will be offering student messaging, there are more specific analytics that drill down to the student engagement data and family engagement data even more specifically so that you can report on that. We do provide translated polls for all accounts. And again, that is something that can be sent school and district wide in the paid accounts with downloadable reports. So let's look at some more. Videos with translated captions. I know that we've talked about that when we were talking about attachments. That is something that is available in all accounts. And then additionally, in our paid school and district accounts, you'll have access to translated audio and email messaging, if that is something that the school and district chooses to add. Another additional feature that is only available for the paid school and district accounts would be self-serve custom roles and creation, as well as some brand new features that are coming in the fall and soon for our paid partners. Some AI writing help, message mentor, engaging hard to reach families, and attendance toolkit. I know there are already a lot of schools that are using Talking Points to communicate attendance and how they're keeping attendance, and we are creating some ways that are going to facilitate that with a lot more help. Time-saving tools. We had a full live stream just about how to save time with Talking Points. So we know that that is something that you're using Talking Points for every single day. There are features like templated messages. Creating and saving those messages is available for everyone. In the paid accounts, you can share those templates as well. Scheduling messages, also available for everyone. In the paid accounts, you can schedule recurring messages. So if you need to schedule a message for homework due Friday, awesome. If it needs to be due every Friday and you want to schedule that message for every Friday, you can do that in those paid accounts. And then setting office hours is also a feature that's available in all accounts. It comes with an auto reply message in those paid accounts. If you are using the free account, we have you will be manually entering your data, which is very easy. We've shown how to do it on my free account here on the live stream. There's a couple different ways that you can do it. But then if you are on the if you're on the paid accounts, then we integrate with your SIS, and our partner success team will help you with that and walk you through that whole process. And then 2 other things that are available to our paid accounts are document translation and a specific dedicated account manager who will help provide guided implementation and professional development. So if you've ever wondered how Talking Points can support your entire school, your entire district, what would it be like if everybody was using this, not just me? Those are some of the differences. And if you want to learn more about it, again, you can visit the website at talkingpts.org/schools. You can ask us more about it. There is a chat function on our site, and we'll be happy to answer any of those questions there. We can also answer them here because you are here to ask me anything. So since we ran through that, I would love for us to step into our FAQ. Anyone who is, not sure why my mouth is so dry, anyone who's here watching who has a question about their Talking Points account, about the difference between the 2 types of accounts, anything that's on your mind about family engagement, I'm happy to answer those questions or to find the answer for you if I don't know it off the top of my head. So jump in the comments and share that question with me now. I have a few questions that we've gotten throughout the week since our last live stream that I'll start with before you start sharing your questions. We had a friend on Facebook ask us what it looks like when they attach items to their messages, because there are several different ways to add attachments, and they just wanted to know, what does that look like when I make those attachments? So let me share my account. Here we are. So when you compose a message, whether that's an announcement or a direct message, you will have a few options down at the bottom. The first 3 are for different types of attachments. The first one is the paperclip, is to add files. So if you click that, it'll open up your, it doesn't show for you. It will open up your file folders on your computer. So that's where you can add files straight from your computer. Second one is a photograph. Obviously, it's going to open up your files as well, just for adding pictures. And then the third one is to connect to your Google Drive. So if you have a Google Drive where you keep all of your files specific to school, specific to your students, then that is another way that you can add files, photos, videos there from Google Drive. So once you add those, though, this is what it will look like. So I'm going to add a picture. See if I can find one. I'll add this picture of the solar eclipse pathway. So when you add your pictures, they're going to show as a clip down here. I'm going to select a class to send it to and say, check out the pathway for the solar eclipse. I'll send that so you can see what it looks like when you're setting it up. And then I'll show you what it looks like once it has sent. And there, you can see it right there. You can see the whole picture and your message together. And that's what an attachment looks like. If it were a file, it would also show the file there. If it were a video, same thing. It would show kind of a screenshot right there of what the cover image of the video is with a play button over it. Very simple. All right. Next question. How do I know which parent I'm talking to in a message thread? That is another great question and something that we have prepared for. So again, looking in my account to see which parent I'm talking to, which guardian, whomever, I'll go to my message threads. Let's say Laura is my student. And when she has a parent respond, underneath the response, it will say from, and then the relationship role, whether that's mother, father, aunt, uncle, whomever. And then when you hover over it with your mouse, it will show you their name and phone number, as well as their initials over to the side with like the icon. So there's a few different ways you can see that. And then if you open their student details, you'll see who that is as well. But if they have multiple family members and you aren't quite sure who's talking, it will show you underneath each message who that is. So that's how you know who you are messaging. Next question. Thank you for joining. I need to know who saw my messages. How do I do that? Great question again. Share this right here. So the Eclipse message that I just sent was an announcement, and I want to see who received it, who saw it, all of that information. You'll see underneath the message these check marks down here underneath where it says check mark and then a 7. If I click on that, I'll see my read receipts, my read receipts, so I can see who it was sent to. It'll show the student's name, the family member it was sent to, and how they received it, so text or app. And then it will show me who read it on the app. So if they have the app, we have the ability to tell you they opened it and read it. If they're using text message, we have the ability to say it was sent, but then with the carriers, that's as far as we can go. So you'll be able to see who read it on the app. So far, nobody has read it on the app yet. I have my phone though, and since this is my demo account, I am one of the parents in it. I'm going to open it and read it so that that can change and we can see that happen. If my phone can load, here we go. Okay, I'm opening it. I'm even gonna like it. We'll see if that pops up in a sec. All right, I'll refresh. And look at that. Got a check mark. And it says Abby Sexton's grandmother, which is who I am apparently, read it on the app. And that's what I just did. I clicked it and you can see my like went through as well. So some of your family members might send a reaction too if they don't have time to respond. If it doesn't really require a response, they might just send a reaction if they're on the app. So that's how you get those read receipts and you know who saw it, who received it, and who reacted to it. You can also, if you send a poll, you'll see those responses in the poll itself. And if you want to break down those responses, there's a button that says see response details underneath. And you'll be able to see who responded to each of the options, so that if you need to send a message to specific responders, you can send follow-up information for that poll. And the same red receipts are there, as well as reactions. So we've got everything you need. All right. Let's see. I can't continue messaging families after hours. Can you add a feature to mute notification after school is over? I can't add that because we already have it. So I'm going to show you in my account how I turn that notification setting on. So if you are in your account, you go to the bottom left corner. Let me turn off these symbols and banners so you can see everything. So here in the bottom left corner is my name. I'll click on my name and go to settings. For my office hours, I'm going to click notifications. And there I've got settings for email notifications as well as office hours. So if I do not want to receive text notifications, by text notifications, I mean the badges, the dings on the app after school hours so that I can spend time with my family, so that I can disconnect from work, I need to click set office hours. So it will not be set prior to me doing it myself. I'll set office hours, and then I need to set the time. So I have it set to 7 p.m. to 7, it should be 7 a.m. here. So that means that after 7 p.m., oh, I should do 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. There's some math involved. There we go. So my office hours are between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. So that means after 7 p.m., messages will come through. Families can send me messages, and I can still get on and message them. But if I decide to put my phone down and spend time with my family or what have you, I'm having dinner, my phone will not ding. It will not show me anything because I've set it to not do that. And then the next morning at 7 a.m., I'll start seeing those notifications for what came through the night before. So that is where you need to set that, and make sure you click save, or those settings will not save when you leave this page. You can also set these in your mobile app. You need to go to the settings as well. If you are in a paid account with your school or district, you'll also have the option to set an auto reply, which is the message that will go out just like you have probably in your emails. If someone emails you and you're out of office, it'll say, thanks for sending an email to me, but I will not be in the office until tomorrow. I'll get back to you then. You can set an auto reply in those accounts. In a free account, you'll need to let your families know what your office hours are so that they do not expect a response after those hours because you'll have set them in your account. So that's where you can do that. All right, we have just a few more minutes. So while I wait for any more questions, I'll share this week's challenge. Since we are talking about the difference between your free Talking Points for Teachers account and the paid Talking Points for Schools and Districts account, your challenge this week is to visit talkingpts.org/schools to peruse that and learn more about how we can help you meet your school and district-wide goals, because it's time to start planning for next year. It's time to start thinking, what if everybody in the school was using a streamlined form of family communication? We are not just about sending out announcements. We are not just about sending out a message. We are about universal family engagement and really building relationships with families. And when that's happening in a consistent and streamlined way across an entire school, across an entire district, that's when you see the most and the best student outcomes. So one teacher using talking points is fantastic. A school using talking points is astounding, and you will see the impact. We share a lot on our social media and in our newsletters the incredible testimonials we get from classroom teachers all the way to district administrators on the impact they see of the use of talking points with their families. So check out that website. I've put the link in the chat if you don't want to type it in. So check that out. That's your challenge for this week. And if you do have any other questions, again, about family engagement, about talking points, anything, we have a few more minutes. You can drop it in the chat. Thank you. Still have time to show you anything you need to see on my account that you've been looking for. Or have questions about. Otherwise, thank you for joining. Hope you've had a wonderful week. Hope you've connected with families and with students. And if there are families that you haven't connected with this week, think about doing it this afternoon or tomorrow before the weekend in a message or an announcement. All right, looks like that is all the questions that we had. I will see you next week for part 4 of 5 things you didn't know about talking points. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.